find out parajumbles a little bit interesting and what should be the way they should solve them. Okay, now everyone, please eyes on the board. Let us begin something that would be very important and would definitely help you in cracking the most desired examination, aspired one, that is CAT. So dear students, we have on the screen about parajumbles. This was the slide which we have already discussed, that what is or what are parajumbles. You were absent. We also discussed that there are two things, that conceptual and non-conceptual. We did that. We also discussed about parajumbles, है ना? The type of questions that we are going to have, right? So we have 4 sentences, 5 sentences, 1 and 6 sentences, first static sentences. Then you have this strategy building blocks. Paragraphs can be standalone, and intro and body last sentences. So up till here we studied the last. I told you that we'll continue from here, right? So let's take a quick recap. What are parajumbles? Huh?
Arranging a paragraph that makes sense. I mean, a paragraph in a jumbled way.
No, paragraph in a jumbled way. Huh?
You have to rearrange that to make a quote. You know, you
Huh?
have to rearrange the paragraph to make it look like understandable or comprehensible.
Yes. What else? Yes, you at the back. What are parajumbles? Okay. Have you heard about? Okay. Himanshu, you must be aware what are parajumbles. So parajumbles literally mean jumbled paragraphs. So when we say jumbled paragraphs, so that means they are not sentences. They are jumbled paragraphs. So the moment you hear the word paragraph, you should think that this is not something very easy or a cakewalk. Because finding a sentence and making it coherent, that's okay. But making a paragraph coherent one is a little difficult task. However, everything which is easy does not pay you off. Something which is difficult or anything which is difficult that you achieve, you know, then only you can flaunt. So candidates are given a set of related sentences which are not arranged in orderly manner. Candidates have to read each of the sentences and arrange them sequentially. I hope I'm audible at the back. The second part that we discussed was the critical reasoning for fact inference. This is something that we'll be doing later on, but this is the part that is quite important, and we have four predominantly ideas which we'll be working on, because in CAT from question number 17 to 24 these parameters are there to judge your verbal ability. So that is parajumbles, para completion, summary based, and that we call as one odd one out, right? Then we have parajumbles types, the type of questions that we are going to have. So that is 4 sentences, 5 sentences, 1 and 6 statics. Now this is very important. A static means something that would remain the same. Static, like one statement would remain the same, the second statement would remain the same. If however, I have shown you that only number 1, or in some sentences 1 and 6 both would be static. So you need not touch them. Read the directions carefully before attempting. Sometimes you know, acha, this is a parajumbles, I'll do it now. So before reading that, what are they saying? However, you can have an idea. When there are 5, it can be 1 can be static. If there are 6, 1 and 6 can be static. That is what I was calling him. I thought that I should call him that so that he may switch off the fan and can have this AC if possible, because right at the top, it really may be a problematic situation, may create nausea. Anyway, strategy building blocks. What are we supposed to do? Paragraphs can be standalone, intro, body, last sentence, part of larger passage. What are the standalone? Standalones are very easy. Why? They are extremely easy one, because you can get the introduction, you can get the body, you can get the last sentence. So you just have to put them in the blocks. However, these are difficult ones. The part of the larger passage, from anywhere they have given you the passage and you are searching where to put this, because wherever you put, as if it is okay. Para structure and analytical style. First line intro, 2 and 3 and 4 supporting ideas, and 5th should be the conclusion. So how are we supposed to do? We should find out the introduction first. And the moment you find introduction, you will have to find out 2, 3, 4. The worst thing is to do which one to put first. Second, third also seems to be the same. Fourth also seems to be the same. So how are we going to do this? Now this is a very difficult part, I would say. The moment you come across this particular thing, this, it is really difficult. Why it is difficult? Why I am saying that it is difficult? Because there is always a hierarchy. There is always something that is coming in an order. If you talk about nature, nature also has something in order. So as everything in the world, there is an order. Right? If you have any problem, there is a system. You directly go to the office and complain. If the office and the officer they are not listening, then you will go to some other higher office and they'll listen to you. Then if they are not listening, then you will go to some other office that will probably approach chief minister. Even the chief minister is not listening to you, then you have court. you can go. So there's a system. But if you go directly to court, the court will ask you, haven't you gone to the ministers or the office bearers? You'll say, no sir, I haven't approached them. I thought that ultimately I have to come to you, so it's better that I should approach you first. So generally people are making fun, no? Sometime that in way back when the examination used to happen in the country, so people were there are only preliminary, and after that preliminary there is mains, and after mains you have interview, and once you through with the interview you are selected. No. Over here we have preliminary, mains, sessional court, district court, high court, Supreme Court, and then interview. So ultimately the case has to go to the court. However, it was a joke. I was expecting that you would laugh, but it turned out to be one of the worst jokes. Anyway, there's 2, 3, 4 supporting ideas, and 5th should be the conclusion. Right? So we can work 2 ways. Either we find the conclusion and put it aside, or we find the introduction one, we can put it aside. Now we are left with 2, 3, 4. So we can play akkar bakkar Bombay Bo the moment we don't find any solution, and that is how. Otherwise, sometimes you will find that the options given, you can eliminate. That is called POE, process of elimination. So you may eliminate 2 options, and then you can put up your brain. You can think like, this is something that I feel should be the best one. However, I'm going to give you ideas. I'm going to give you all the tricks and techniques. However, but I feel that when you do parajumbles, all that tricks and tips and everything, it would help you, but that is totally your discretion at the time you are putting it as your answer. Right. Coming back to what I was discussing, slide number next, para structure, argumentative style. So first line, opinion, 2, 3, 4 supporting ideas. 5th is a restatement. There is another style that talks about first line opinion, that there can be opinion, and then followed by something that we call supporting ideas of that opinion, and that restatement is over there. So this kind of a question you may also face. Then you have links. Now this is one of the important slides, I would say, that it talks about sentence connected in a paragraph are known as the links. They help in the eliminating of the options, eliminating options. Now what are sentence links? Connectors. So what is connecting? Now over here, something that would help you, that would be grammar, connectors, the conjunctions. So you must know which conjunction should follow, right? If I say that I prefer tea than coffee, or I prefer tea to coffee. So which is the best one? I prefer tea than coffee, I prefer tea to coffee. Which is correct, Kanishka. You guys are taking grammar classes probably every week. It is 2, right? Why it is 2? Because with prefer we use 2. So maybe in a sentence you find somewhere that than is given. So what you will do? That means than should be connected to something else. Not with prefer, because if we take prefer as second, then we are supposed to use then. Otherwise we should not use prefer with then this should not be our answer. Something else should be there. Then you will find an option that is beginning with 2. So that would be the correct one, because grammar would be there. हमें क्या चाहिए, ये पीछे वाला फैन ऑफ कर दो और ये बाकी ज़्यादा भी कर दो, बहुत चीखना पड़ रहा है, और थोड़ी देर के लिए एसी चला दो, बहुत कम नहीं, ज़्यादा उस पर 20-25 पे, और फैन बंद कर दो, पता, हाँ फ़ोन अभी नहीं चाहिए, और कुछ गला गीला करा दो, पानी भी पिलवा देना. Alright, we'll move on to the types of content links and the structure links. So what is a content link? and what is a structure link. A structure is basically grammar, and content link. Now, how you are going to work on content, this is what we are going to learn now. Very interesting. This is content link. Now, what is content? Let us understand. Now, if we have this, what do you call that? Cause and effect. Now, if your question has a cause, then there must be effect. And if you are able to connect that, that means your parajumble is absolutely correct. There must be something, there must be a cause and there must be an effect. If they are in proper alignment, your sentence has to be correct. There is no obstruction whatsoever. That's I would say. If there is a, now can you quote an example of cause and effect? I knew that somebody would come with the same example of raining. Anyway, but I would welcome it. Yes, Kanishka. It is raining these days because of global warming. Earlier, it did not rain because no global warming there. That is an inference. But that's right. Because it is raining these days on predominantly, you can say that you should support your statement that it is raining these days when not expected. Or a very unusual days when we have not expected in April it would rain, but it rained because of blah, blah, blah. Right? And the very next day, the newspaper headlines were there that all the farmers and they all had to lose their grains, their cultivations altogether, the agriculture, lands and all. So there was a news altogether. Why? Because of that rain that she has discussed. So there was a cause, and as an effect, what would be the effect of that rain without season? Since the grains and predominantly wheat is badly affected. So when it is badly affected, so what would be the scene? That we are going to buy wheat at a higher prices, obviously. So that would be the effect. So the cause, the effect, right? So there's something a cause followed by an effect. It should not be that effect first and then the cause. So now we have idea and elaboration. So what is idea and elaboration? Anything that is an idea? What's your name, gentlemen? Mayank. What is idea and elaboration? Anything that you think that it is an idea? Let me give you an example now. I am associated with one of the schools, and not recently, it was somewhere around 15th of February when a webinar was conducted on OSM, that we call as online on-screen marking, that online marking, So the CBSE introduced that all the 12th board copies would be evaluated online. So all those copies, can you imagine the number of copies that they had, they had to scan. So they were around about crores of copies. So I've calculated it was, now I don't know the exact number, but it was more than crores. And those all crore copies to be scanned and to be sent back to the concerned, we call that as nodal center, and over there certain head examiners and examiners they are appointed, and they are checking the copies. I'm one of them. So that was an idea. So he came up with the idea. So the moment you come up with the idea, people start making their own version. Arey, it won't work. Arey, have they gone mad? Oh, would it work? It happened. It has been the human tendency. The first time when Leonardo da Vinci, or probably, I don't know the exact whether I am right or not, when he came up with the idea of that flying object, that was before Wright brothers. So even at that point of time, he was an object of laughing, or he was in a stock of laughing probably. And then later on, Wright brothers came with the idea, and now we all know that what is airplane. So now nobody will make fun of him. And so as when way back in India, when somebody introduced computers, so all were after him that no, computer won't work, it will, you know, eat. I'm using this word, exactly the same word, that would eat so many jobs. But that didn't happen. We have more jobs now. So as with AI these days, we are saying no, AI won't will actually make everyone unemployable. But I don't think that would be the scene. The scene would be different. Now the scene is the one who does not know the computer is jobless. At least you should know computer. So as probably in the coming time we'll have the same thing, that the one who is not very good at AI would probably get the job done. Somebody else would do that. So we need to caress, we need to accept the opportunities, we need to accept the change, right? So I think it was a really welcome, revolutionary change in the system of evaluation. We are checking copies at our ease, however, not at that ease as of now, but maybe in the coming years it would be that we'll be sitting at our home, work from home, we are evaluating copies and sending them back. So that was an idea. And what I did, I elaborated on that. The amount that I spoken, it was an elaboration of the idea. Is that clear? So this is an idea and that is an elaboration. So anything that comes across you is an idea, and then somebody elaborate on that. So this is idea and elaboration. Coming back to what is idea and example. So what I did, I gave you example also of the idea, that OSM is an example. So these both the things are quite related. Moving on to the next one, that is generic and specific. What is generic and specific?
Very common.
Very common, right? And from that common to specific, we move. Can't we move specific to common? No, we cannot. We first have to find out something which is generic, common, right? Let's say if I talk about energy, so I have to give you an example which is very common, which is probably the commonest one, I would say, the most common example, which everyone can understand, right? Probably people when they came up with that gender disparity during that census, so we found that women were 998 or 996 per thousand. It was an idea, I'm just giving vague idea. Maybe I'm not very much sure, I'm giving an idea that this is generic information. So let's say 998 and 1000. Only two. It doesn't make difference. But no, that's not the same. But if you calculate, the moment it reaches 10,000, so how many girls are lesser? For every 1,000, we have two. So the moment we reach at 10,000, 20. And the moment we reach to lakh, the moment we reach crore, then only we understand that this is a big gap. How it is going to be bridged. Then we understand the gravity. Then we understand, the seriousness of the issue. Now this is what we are discussing, the idea and example, generic and specific, and now then comes chronology. What is it? You tell me. Chronology. Let me have a sip of. No. Correct. Order. What is that chronology? You might have heard about a chronic disease. Have you heard that? If not, then now hear it. Chronic disease. Someone who has been suffering from a disease way long. Or the family has the chronic disease history that they all have been suffering from the same thing. When the father was suffering from diabetes and the son was suffering from the diabetes, and then the great grandson is suffering from the same. So this is a chronic disease in the family. So as we find chronic problems in the family, that the father was suffering from the business losses, and then later the son was suffering the same thing, and we find that people are continuing on the same sort of a business, like father who used to sell Reta Bajri, so the son is also saying the same thing. Right, so it continues. I'm not saying that this is wrong. I'm not saying that this is absolutely not acceptable, but something this is chronic in the family. However, it is predominantly used in terms of disease, or we are discussing about chronology, something that has begun Yes, and it's continuing. So there should be a beginning, there should be some sort of dates, and then maybe continuing with the same. Or maybe the period, like we say in before Renaissance, post Renaissance, or we say before Jesus Christ, after Jesus Christ, the way we calculate our days. What is Hijri Samvat? Don't you know this? The Islamic calendar, Hijri. How do you calculate that? It was all when Prophet Muhammad traveled from uh, Makkah to Medina. And from there, it came into existence. So that was around about 1400 or maybe 14.500 old. So the chronology we can find there, dates and everything. And now let's talk about common word approach. What is that common word approach?
A word that is common in every pen or every line.
As the word itself explanatory enough, that it is common word approach. We have a common word and we have to approach it. But how? Which common word? Common word approach means if the particular passage or the para is discussing about anything and the same has been used at various places, so we are supposed to connect those words. Acha, okay, this is what this word is here. So as it is here, so first just came into existence and then it followed and then it concluded. So these are the ways those will help you to answer not only para jumble, it would help you to answer para summary as well. It will also, however, para summary is not at all about this cause and effect and idea and all. Para summary is which passage is the best summary of the paragraph. Option, I mean. But para jumbles and para forming and odd one out, sometime when you read it with this way, you will get that. However, odd one out is totally different thing wherein they'll be discussing about which is not the part of the discussion. So as of now, we are discussing about AI, let's say, and suddenly somebody come and talks about floppy disk. Though it would be quite similar that we are discussing about floppy disk, and floppy disk is also the part of computer. It has been. But because we are discussing only about AI, so we should not be discussing about floppy disk. However, it is quite related. We are discussing about restaurant businesses. And when we talk about restaurant business, somebody came up with the idea that we should have this grocery shop. So that would definitely. However, this itself is a very vague idea that I gave you, but there was no similarity at all. If somebody was discussing with cricket and someone came and started discussing that we should open up a stadium. So now you will think that the stadium is also a part of cricket. However, we only were discussing about cricket and the way it is played. We are nowhere talking about that we need to build more stadiums. So that would be a different thing. Building infrastructure is something different, and talking about the game, talking about the cricket is something different. लेकिन लगता ऐसा है कि एक ही बात है ये तो. Is that clear? Yes or no? Please acknowledge. Now this is a structure link. So that was content link. This is structure link. So content means cause and effect, chronicle, idea and elaboration, idea and example. Now this is the structure links. What is common word approach, right? Is structure link. What is a structure link? When you have this pronoun noun link. Pronoun and noun should agree with each other in terms of number and gender. Now, I think that everyone sitting in the class must be quite aware what a noun pronoun link. Aditya, My lot of things are kept there. What should be the right thing that if I say that give it to me?
Four.
No, no. Many things are kept there. And in general, we say, give it to me. What should be said?
Pass me the thing.
No, no, no. I'm talking about pronoun.
Particular thing.
No, when it is particular, then it is okay. But when I'm saying many things are kept there and I want all of them and I'm saying give it to me, give them to me. We generally don't use it. We don't say give them to me. Give it to me. For us, plural is it? For us, singular is it? Because it is generally spoken and people accept it. So the acceptance of incorrect expression is harakiri. What is harakiri? That's a Japanese word used in English as suicidal. No, not hierarchy. I said harakiri. Harakiri. It's a Japanese word meaning suicidal or suicide. So, I mean, doing something intentionally. So now, no, so many Japanese words are being included in English language. However, not this one that I'm going to speak just now. That Ikigai is a book that was written by one of the authors. I don't know the name of the author, but he talks about what, that these are the Japanese practices that they're doing to staying, young.
Stay lean and very fit for a very long time.
Yes, I can be an example of that. With a disfigured body, no? So, the next one is conjunction. Conjunction, you all know what are conjunctions. Now, if there is but, what should follow? When you find but in a sentence, so the sentence has to be a positive one. After but, it should be negative. Either before but, it should be negative. So the followed one should be positive. This is the quality of but. But if I say not only, then it should be followed by but also. Whenever you come across not only, then search. So if there is dung, there should be pony. A very old saying, na? If there is dung available, so there must be ponies out there, right? So this is the example. Maybe are you conjunctions, and then noun pronoun link. Pronoun and noun should agree with each other in terms of number and gender. What is number and gender? Number means singular, plural, and gender male, female. But sometimes we forget to change or forget to find that there was a gender change and we make mistakes, right? So now I am switching on to one of the slides that would take you to the world of parajumbles. However, there are as many as other exercises also, but we will be doing predominantly parajumbles as of now, right? So there are two options. I can send it to you as well, or let me open it over here. So let's open it here and do it at your speed. But over here there is a problem that you can't read all those sentences all together. Just have a look if you do it, otherwise I'll be sending it to you. Wow. Sometimes I really feel, we need to be tech savvy, It helps. ठंड लग गई इसको लग रहा है. We can switch it off. Oh, you can come forward. Oh, then you can switch to some other seat if you wish to. However, I feel that it's cooler. You must have started feeling the cooling. Mayank? Oh, he agrees, but he is not. He just had to. He is not satisfied. Ah, good. Then the very first question has no tension of switching the slides. I'll read it here. Best way to self care. It causes it. A different one? Tricky one? You can take your time, no issue. A very good question. Very good question to understand the, nitty and gritty of parajumbles. We have to make it coherent, but I am very much sure that you are not able to understand. It causes it. So let's make pair. Without making pair, it would be difficult for you to get through this. So there are 4 options given. The one says, I hope that this is visible to you, Mayank and Himanshu, or do I need to zoom in? All right. It causes it. So something is the cause of something. What is that something? We need to find out. Next is, that's because the set of expectations becomes self-fulfilling and when people drink it. So that means 2 is referring to something which is drink. However, 3, price doesn't change correlate with perception of quality. Price doesn't change correlate with perception of quality. Sorry, price doesn't just correlate with perception of quality. And the other one is the higher the price, the better the wine will taste. So I think 2 and 4 somewhere talking about the same thing, whereas 3 and 1 are probably talking about the same thing. So 3 is talking about price. So it causes it. What? So that means it is a pronoun and we cannot use it as the first statement because we have to have something as a noun to replace it with pronoun. What is the definition of noun? A noun is the name of a person, place or thing. And what is the definition of pronoun? That it replaces noun. So when it replaces noun? When noun has been introduced. So can we use it as the first statement? No. We have to come up with an idea where we are introducing noun. So acha, 1 and 2 are correlative. So price doesn't change correlate with perception of quality. It causes it. It causes it. What? Price. And over here, that's because of the set of expectations become a self-fulfilling when people drink it. The higher the price, the better the wine will taste. So the moment you buy a very expensive wine, the taste will automatically be nice. It causes it. So it would be like 3-1 and 2-4. 3-1, 2-4 should be your answer.
3-1-4-2-4.
No, no, 4 नहीं हो सकता. 4 cannot be the conclusion. What could be the conclusion? No. What did I say? 3-1.
3-1 बोला आपने.
हाँ तो 3-1.
2-4. आपने 3-1-2-4 बोला, हम लोग कह रहे हैं 3-1-4.
You are saying that 2 should be. That's because the set of expectations becomes self-fulfilling. 2 should be the last one. The higher the price. That's because the set of expectation becomes self-fulfilling when people drink it. The higher the price, the better the wine will taste. So this is the introduction. Price 3, 1, 2, 4.
4-2. नहीं ये भी तो हो सकता है ना. The higher the price, the better the wine will taste. That's
Because the set of expectations
Becomes self-fulfilling when people drink it. हाँ ठीक है. I am somewhere mistaken. It should be 3, 1, 4, 2. Right. Because it is correlating. The higher the price, the better the wine will taste. That's because the set of expectations becomes self-fulfilling when people drink it. Right. Correct. Very good. So you got the idea that this is how we need to do. We need to pick up an idea and we need to elaborate. It may be an example, it may be a cause, it may be an effect. This is how we are supposed to do. Moving on to the next one. Now this would create problem because there are 5 statements and all will have to be viewed. Should I say?
ऊपर कर दीजिए ना. वो पांचों एक ही बार में दे जाएंगे.
अच्छा दिख जाएंगे.
और ऊपर
कोई फिक्स तो नहीं है.
बस.
अच्छा, I can remove this also, right? Over here. And it can go up a little 1 more inch. Great. Thank you.
हल्का सा नीचे.
हल्का सा.
शेड.
This is okay. Let me read it here. क्या हुआ? Can we introduce? Can we find the lining that is line that introduces the paragraph? The opening statement.
Second.
If you look at that, malicious programs make use of the period between it being identified and a security patch for the programs becoming available to infect workstations. And attacks via web browsers have dramatically increased over the years. So, somewhere it sounds as if this should be the introduction, opening statement, followed by what? Followed by something that is again predominantly talking about something that is again talking about the attacks, or maybe taking it a little more. So let's say attack web browsers have dramatically increased. These lightings over the years. These devices connect to different or employees endanger the corporate network when they inadvertently. What is inadvertently? Just to increase your vocabulary. Inadvertently, and now try to use these words as and on, off and on when you come across this. Inadvertently, rare iradatan means without any intention to hurt you. To hurt you. Inadvertently, yes, without knowing the cause. So, employees endanger the corporate network when they inadvertently introduce backdoor programs downloaded via malicious websites. So, again, this is in continuation with what they're talking about, the attacks. So, over here they also introduced attacks via web browsers have dramatically increased over the years. Employees endanger the corporate network when they inadvertently introduce backdoor programs downloaded via malicious websites. So again, that malicious is here. So malicious program make use of the period between it.
Second के बाद third आना चाहिए. Second के बाद third आना चाहिए. फिर fourth, फिर one,
No.
फिर five.
Dramatically increased over the years. Laptops and other mobiles are particularly vulnerable. No, but attack. So these are in correlation. So malicious website is okay.
फिर one आ जाएगा four के बाद.
Because over here it is a full stop.
4, 1.
Had this been a comma and then again we are talking about malicious website, then it would have been a different one. But over here it is a full stop, then again we are talking about noun and then again noun. So malicious programs make use of the period between being identified security patch for the program becoming available to infect workstations. And from here it should be like we have chosen 2, 4, 4, 1,
3, 5.
3 and 5. Over here they are talking about laptops and other mobile devices are particularly vulnerable. Employees use the same devices to work from the homes and hotels and airports. These devices. Now look at the pronoun. The number. What happened?
वो कह रहे हैं कि third आना चाहिए fourth की जगह.
Third आना चाहिए fourth की जगह. फिर fourth कहाँ ले जाओगे? ऐसे आ जाओ. मैं कहता रहा हूँ. Let's say we are taking third, then where are we going to put fourth? Because that is also talking about attack. So it is in continuation to statement number 2. This is the forward one. Otherwise, where are you going to take about it? This is also talking about endangering inventory membranes.
Reason of attack.
So second would be followed by 4, and 4 would be followed by 1. 1 would be followed by 3, and then 5. Why? Achha, look at the connection over here. Laptops and other mobile devices, right? And devices, these devices connect. So these devices are a plural one. Now these is what? These is a pronoun. These is a pronoun. And over here, just now I told you that we need to connect through pronoun. So mobile devices, so this should be the last one. So 2, 4, 1, 3, 5. Absolutely correct. Getting the idea? ये कुछ और है. ठीक है, ये हम नहीं करेंगे अभी. पैराजम्बल है. Just read it. मैंने कहा ना. Even then you can do it. First make the coherent paragraph, the one which is not. But let me find out more question on parajumble first, है ना? अभी थोड़ा सा आपका brain काम कर रहा है वहाँ पे. It has got all the exercises actually. You can switch off the AC if you wish to. We can switch off the AC if you wish to. Unfortunately, this slides does not contain more parajumble questions. It has got its own data. But no problem. You got the idea, right? Let's do this odd one out again. Shrink. All you can do one thing, you can write this one. Take the controversy about embryonic stem cell research example. Write it somewhere. No, but that won't help. Write the first one. Either you write the first one, the text away. Way back 25 years ago from now, I would say that I watched one movie, Soldier. That was a time Bollywood Holly, Bobby Deol. You must have been very young those days, and I was 25 साल नहीं हाँ obviously. So and I went to see that movie because that was the time I was into my maybe please. So we used to So the first time when I went to, I was getting into that Bollywoods and also there was all fascinating things. So what the Bobby Deol do? But Bobby Deol in the movie it is shown that he wanted to woo Preeti Zinta somehow. So he asked all those questions from her friend that would be asked during one event. So I still remember why because there was a question that which fruit she likes. So he said grapes. Yes. So he said that keeping in mind the way Madam moves here and there and the way she reacts, the way she does. So Madam does not like doing any labor whatsoever. So she must be liking grapes. So the very good example given, right? So as with Alina. Alina took the photo. Why to write then? Have you written this? So now it should be visible. Yes, it is. Hello. Yes, ma'am. Okay. आपकी आवाज कट रही है मैम. हेलो हेलो.
ऑनलाइन होगा लेकिन सेट करके आके देना क्लास नहीं होती नहीं है वरुण सर आएंगे तो
तुम्हारे doubts.
वो ना बताएंगे यार वो उसके तो कैसे वापस करेंगे
दीदी जान लगाओ पैसे ले।
आपको नहीं पूछते वो कह रहे हैं शिका ने पैसे
यार ऐसे पूछना तो मुझे कि कुछ नहीं करता बड़ा नहीं।
मैं तो माँ कह रही सर
I got a call from man and she was asking me that I should tell you that you should appear in tests.
सर 2 दिन टेस्ट
2 दिन टेस्ट वो भी क्या पढ़ाएंगे?
एक दिन
वो भी
पहले
पता है नहीं किस चीज का।
एक दिन पहले भी नहीं कुछ घंटे पहले
अच्छा.
सर ये तो थोड़ी ना है।
और सर पता भी नहीं है कि किस चीज का टेस्ट
Maybe they're calling it as a surprise test.
सरप्राइज
Surprise.
2 दिन
सरप्राइज सरप्राइज टेस्ट ऑनलाइन एड सेंट
पहले ही दे दी।
अच्छा.
टेस्ट ऑनलाइन एड सेंट
You
मतलब
can't.
होगा पोर्टल पे हो सकता है वो कॉमन टेस्ट होते हैं वो वाला हो जो मॉक टेस्ट होते हैं
मैं क्या कुछ नहीं पूरा जाते जाते कुछ नहीं होगा। ठीक है।
Jate jate, but she's not available right now. She's on leave. Sunday she's on off.
अगर आपको जो टेस्ट करने पड़ेगा
Okay. Let us discuss this first. Then we'll be discussing test anymore. And scientific progress is a force that is apt to create rather than solve what the thorny ethical issues. The second point talk about take the controversy about embryonic stem cell research for example. The US Roman Catholic bishops oppose it, saying that the life should be regarded as sacred from the moment of conception. But scientists, patient advocates, drug companies, clinics, some politicians, and some government healthcare officials are banking on the research programs' promise of treatment and even cures for disease like Alzheimer's and type 1 diabetes. Technological change can alter the costs and benefits of adhering to certain beliefs.
ऑड वन आउट
सारे
सारे अलग लग रहे हैं तो
सारे बड़े सारे अलग लग रहे
ये साइंटिफिक प्रोग्रेस की बात कर रहा
हैं।
है.
बिशप की बात कर रहे हैं थर्ड वाले।
तो पहले तो पैराजंबल कर लो. क्यों?
आई थिंक थर्ड
नहीं इसमें है सेकंड कोई ना कोई तो होगा।
सेकंड कंट्रोवर्सी टाइम बात
एक बार पैराजंबल कर लो फिर हो जाएगा.
वही कहा मैंने सही है
But why?
पैराजंबल करके
So which should be the first statement after parajambal?
फर्स्ट वन फिफ्थ
What is it talking about? Technological change can alter the costs and benefits of adhering to certain beliefs. That means whatever the beliefs that we have. Acha, didn't I tell you the difference between beliefs and belief? I did tell you that.
यस
Kanishka? What is the difference?
बता दो believe is something we believe and believe is
सबको याद है।
believe is something we take practice and beliefs is the practice which we are following.
believe is a verb
हाँ believe is a verb.
The simple answer, believe is a verb, belief is a noun. So technological change can alter the costs and benefits of adhering to a certain belief. I mean, whatever the belief I have, the technical change can alter the costs and benefit of according to the certain beliefs. So whatever the technological advancement taking place, they may change something, है ना? हाँ यार थोड़ी देर बंद कर दे यार, हमें ठंड लग रही थी. हैं? Next is what is it? Next.
Second.
So can it be technical? हाँ तो समझते हैं ना.
नहीं वो तुम्हारा वो आंसर का वो
ठीक है.
We are searching that what should be the odd one out and why. So let us understand. अगर हम बात कर रहे हैं कि take the controversy about embryonic stem cell research for example, तो ये क्यों आया होगा, क्यों हम कंट्रोवर्सी की बात कर रहे होंगे, यानी कि इससे पहले कोई आइडिया आया होगा, तभी तो हम कह रहे हैं कि लेट्स टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ कंट्रोवर्सी. दैट मींस आइडिया एंड एबरेशन है. तो आइडिया क्या है? वी नीड टू फाइंड आउट द आइडिया. क्या ये आइडिया है कि द टेक्नोलॉजिकल चेंज कैन ऑल्टर द कॉस्ट एंड बेनिफिट ऑफ सर्टेन एडहेरिंग एंड बेनिफिट? तो कहीं ना कहीं यही आइडिया है, यही तो आइडिया है. द आइडिया इज टेक्नोलॉजिकल चेंज कैन ऑल्टर द कॉस्ट एंड बेनिफिट ऑफ अडेयरिंग टू सर्टेन बिलीफ्स. द यूएस रोमन कैथोलिक बिशप अपोज इट. किसको अपोज कर रहे हैं? उस आइडिया को. सेइंग दैट लाइफ शुड बी रिगार्डेड एज सेक्रेड फॉर्म ऑफ द मोमेंट ऑफ कंसेप्शन. जब आया तब से हम उसकी मान्यता मान रहे हैं. बट अब ये देखिए, ये कुछ कह रहे हैं भाई, ये कुछ कह रहे हैं, बट आ गया तो इसका मतलब इस बात को उल्टा करा होगा इन्होंने. But scientists, patient advocate, drug company, clinic and the politicians, some government healthcare officials are banking on the research program promise of the treatment and even cures for disease like Alzheimer and type 1 diabetes. और फर्स्ट वाला कह रहा है टेक द कंट्रोवर्सी. अच्छा सॉरी. And scientific progress is a force that's apt to create rather than solve thorny ethical issues. तो ये जो ये है, ये है, ये है, ये है, ये एक जैसी बात कर रहे हैं, ये पता नहीं क्या बात कर रहे हैं. ये कह रहे हैं कि एंड साइंटिफिक प्रोग्रेस इज अ फोर्स दैट इज एप्ट टू क्रिएट रादर देन सॉल्व थॉर्नी एथिकल इश्यूज. सो इट इज नॉट द पार्ट ऑफ द डिस्कशन. सो दिस शुड बी आर ऑड वन आउट. पहली बार पढ़ोगे तो वही लगेगा जो लगा था, ये तो सारे एक से लग रहे हैं. फिर दोबारा पढ़ेंगे तो समझ में आने लगेगा. तो दैट इज व्हाई वी ऑलवेज से कैट इज अ रीडर्स टेस्ट. पढ़ना पड़ेगा. और ये बड़ी काबिलियत है इस बात में कि आप कभी गौर करिएगा इस बात पे. मुझे तो बड़ी अच्छी लगती है ये बात. पहली बार आप पढ़िए, आपको नहीं समझ आएगा. दूसरी बार पढ़िए, दिल से पढ़िए, आएगा. नहीं पढ़ा है, तीसरी बार पढ़िए. मुझे ऐसा लगता है बिकॉज इट्स ऑल अबाउट कॉन्सेंट्रेशन. तो कैट का मतलब ही यही है कि आप जो तीसरी बार में समझ पा रहे हो ना, वो पहली बार में ही समझ जाओ. और वही वो उम्मीद कर रहे हैं कि जो बच्चे पहली बार में ही समझ पा रहे हैं उन्हीं को उस टाइम में आंसर करने को मिल रहा है. 2-2, 3-3, 4-4 बार में तो सभी कर लेते हैं. जैसे मैथ्स है तो एक क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करने में मुझे लगता नहीं है कि किसी को दिक्कत आएगी. दिक्कत तो टाइम की होती है. सॉल्व तो आप कर लोगे. यू कैन सॉल्व द क्वेश्चन इन 15 मिनट्स, 4 बार ट्राई करके. कैलकुलेशन है, कैलकुलेशन वही कोई बहुत जल्दी कर ले रहा है और वही कोई देर से कर रहा है. बस यही फर्क है. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको वो काम आता नहीं है, आता है, बट हम थोड़ा जल्दी कर ले रहे हैं. कोई उसे थोड़ा हल्के कर रहा है, कोई उसे बहुत देर में कर रहा है. यही फर्क है बस. क्लास में जो टॉपर बच्चा है और जो बेचारा नहीं है, बैक बेंचर्स है. बैक बेंचर्स तो नहीं कहना चाहिए आजकल, क्योंकि वो जो टॉपर है वो एक दिन पीछे भी बैठता होता है. आजकल सीट का सिस्टम ऐसा चलता है. तो द आइडिया इज कि पता चला हमने तो समझ लिया, कोई दूसरा नहीं समझ पा रहा. आप ही की क्लास में सेम टॉपिक सेम बार सेम टीचर ने बताया होगा, लेकिन हो सकता है इनको आया हो, इनको ना आया हो, इनको बिल्कुल ना आया हो, इनको थोड़ा आया हो. तो बस वही है. इंग्लिश में भी ऐसा ही है. आपको थोड़ा ध्यान देना पड़ेगा, टाइम देना पड़ेगा. कुछ ऐसे टर्म्स होते हैं जो समझ में नहीं आते. मुझे नहीं लगता जिसने बायो नहीं पढ़ी है वो जानता होगा एम्ब्रियोनिक क्या होता है. हालांकि एम्ब्रियो सबने पढ़ा हुआ है, ऐसा कुछ नया नहीं है. एम्ब्रियो है ना. ये रोमन कैथोलिक बिशप्स पढ़े हैं आपने? नहीं पढ़े होंगे तब भी आपको पता तो होगा भी कैथोलिक मेथोडिस्ट, ये सब क्रिश्चियनिटी के टाइप हैं. भाई कोई कैथलिक है, कोई मेथोडिस्ट है, कोई कुछ है, कोई कुछ है. तो वही फर्क है इसमें, है ना. बिशप्स, हालांकि यहाँ बिशप वो वाला बिशप नहीं है जो चेस में होता है ना. चेस खेलता है आप में से कोई? दो लोग. ओके, एक क्वेश्चन है, अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा है ये. मगर पहले तो आप इसको पढ़ लीजिए कि डिस्पाइट इट्स रूट, ये दिस इज पैरा समरी. कोई बात नहीं. तो डिस्पाइट इट्स रूट्स इन द लेटिन, what is it, Lacuri, there's a sign over there, no? This is a pronunciation technique that this particular word has to be spoken for a longer time. Yes, Lacuri, which means be permitted. Leisure is understood as the withdrawal from activities and work rather than a permission to do things. In short, the term as it is constructed today is basically part of the work-leisure binary. This is a problematic once leisure becomes the other of work. It can only run after work, trying discipline. I'm unable to see with this line. Read it. This focuses on this, but that would affect the recording. So those who are online available, they will also take that. तो विच वन इज द बेस्ट समरी? कौन सा सबसे बेहतर समरी है? लेजर समझते हैं, खाली टाइम. The whole passage is talking about that leisure is misinterpreted and what it is. So in the option number A, the word leisure is widely misinterpreted, and the current perception of leisure is something which one should work hard for. यानी कि कभी वो खाली समय था और आज लेजर के लिए आदमी को बहुत मेहनत करनी है. But what is retirement plan? What is earning money? That you should earn for around 20-30 years and then you will have enough leisure. You should work hard to have a leisure life. कहीं ना कहीं it has misinterpreted. This is what we're talking about, what passage is saying. It can be,
We can connect it to real life.
we can connect it, or we can't make a definition of our own. Okay, this is what leisure is. Maybe whatever we are doing, that is leisure. Not doing anything is leisure. That 5-star ad. Thank you for not doing anything. So, so leisure has now become so elusive. Is it so difficult? That is what the passage is saying, that it is so difficult, elusive, that it cannot be obtained unless one toils extra hard. It says that. The passage is saying it.
Impossible लिखा हुआ है.
Leisure is, as it is perceived today, is in time intimately associated with work and can be obtained only one work extra hard. That is also saying the same thing then, Elena. This third option is also probably the same. And the fourth one, that we have, contrary to its original meaning, leisure is now regarded as something illusory and abstract. It is not there. It is illusory and abstract. Maybe a mirage. You have to read it again. Despite its root in the Latin licere, which means be permitted, leisure is understood as the withdrawal from activities and work rather than a permission to do things. What it says, that it was a withdrawal from activities. No, I won't do anything now. This is my leisure time. I won't do anything. Now, in short, the term as it is constructed today is basically part of the work. Leisure binary. It's a part of the work. This is problematic. Once leisure becomes the other of work, it can only run after work, trying desperately to catch up and largely failing to do so. Means for leisure we are working hard. And because even if it is celebrated, it remains impossible. Leisure ends up being either that empty space where one does not really act or work, or that mirage that I just was talking about. One is always working to reach. I have to reach leisure and I'm working. And then, in the later sense, which predominates, the only way to obtain leisure is to work more in order to work less one day. This is something, the very idea of marketing these days, those who are selling insurance or certain other things, that is probably the line that they're looking for. In the latter sense, which predominates, the only way to obtain leisure is to work more in order to work less one day. And who knows that one day would come. The term insurance seller these days, buy 2 crores insurance in just 649 rupees. And people buy it. I am one of them. But why? Because we think that if we die, our family would be getting 1 crore rupees. And look at the strategy, if someone dies at the age of 60 or 70, let's say, and he had to buy it 30 years ago, 30 years before, after 30 years, that 1 crore would be the same amount as you already have today in your bank balance, as a bank balance. So that 1 crore, after 30 years, nothing. If you talk about what is the value of money, it's day by day decreasing, depreciating. So what would be the value of 1 crore rupees? Nothing. 1 crore would be helpful today. If someone dies today, that would be okay. So all those insurance companies are selling fear. And people buy it. Like health insurance. Now it has become an important thing.
Medical insurance.
One has to buy that. Otherwise, one cannot survive keeping in mind that how am I going to spend out there. So there should be somebody with 10, 50 lakh rupees if something happens. And many things happening these days. Walking on the road has become so troublesome, with all those Bharat Sanskar trained drivers. Bharat Motor, Bharat Motor Sanskar training.
वो अपने ऑर्डर देने के लिए हम लोगों को
So let's come back to this, So the more leisure one wants, the harder one works. So if you want more leisure, you'll have to work harder. So the word leisure is widely misinterpreted. This is given in the passage in the very beginning. Misinterpreted. That earlier it was only enjoyment. Now it is for leisure, you have to work harder.
For the enjoyment.
And the current perception of leisure is something which one should work hard for. Both the things are given. At the very beginning of the passage, they are. No, over here it is written that the withdrawal from the activities and work.
A part of the
See, we are talking about, we are searching for the summary, the best summary that summarizes the passage. That this summarizes the passage, that has both the things. It is talking about leisure as the time when people used to withdraw from the activity, and now for getting that leisure time, people are working harder. Misinterpretation. Right? Now current state is something different, and earlier it was something different. So this is given already in these lines. Let's move on to the second passage that is saying leisure has now become so elusive that it cannot be obtained only in one time. It cannot be obtained. So the passage is not saying this. No, it is not saying it cannot be.
It is impossible unless one works
हाँ भाई
hard.
तो लिखा है
But
unless
sir,
one toil is
here it
extra.
is saying only about the second half, the first.
What about that interpretation of the first one? Very good.
The first.
Array, we are looking for the summary.
Yeah.
Summary.
The meaning of a whole paragraph.
So it should be third.
No.
It should be first.
Third is also saying the same thing. No idea of what the one that is that. Leisure as it is perceived today is intimately associated with work and can be obtained if one works extra hard. What about the first one? That earlier it was a withdrawal from activities, which is given here. The word leisure is misinterpreted, the current perception is leisure. The word leisure is widely misinterpreted. This is the first one that is said. And contrary to its original meaning, leisure is now regarded as something illusory and abstract. This is not somewhere given in the passage. Leisure is not abstract.
वो मुझे समझी पूछ रहे हैं हम शायद जो सेकंड वाले में दे रखा है वो सिर्फ कंक्लूजन बता रहे हैं.
सेकंड वाला कह रहा है कि leisure has
Third वाले का एक बार meaning बताइए.
leisure as it is perceived today. What is how it is perceived today? Current स्थिति क्या है?
You work hard. For
That is timely, intimately associated with work and can be obtained only if one works extra hard. Over here it is given that despite its roots in the native, which means permitted, leisure is understood to withdraw from activities and work rather than a permission to do things. पंखा चला दो वरना एलिना वो समझ नहीं आएगा. We are going to wind it off, है ना? हाँ. So first, I think first was okay. Summarizing the whole.
satisfaction नहीं मिली है सर अलीना को first option से.
अच्छी बात है.
अच्छी बात है.
होना चाहिए ऐसा भी. Until you agree, try more reasons. This is competition, You should not agree to everything. Maybe one day somebody would come and would say कि भाई AI is the best, and you are not satisfied. There are people who are not satisfied. Probably a week ago I read an article. There was one lady in Amar Ujala, Kshama Sharma. She was saying that we should not be dependent on this AI so much, that I have seen students, very young children, they are actually forgetting the way you used to calculate things on our fingers, and is for simple calculation they are actually dependent on calculators and WhatsApp and AI. For spellings, they are forgetting spellings. They are not writing because it is all pre-decided or on your WhatsApp, they are all available. So that is why people don't work. And no, that's very true. If you ask me, that I see that people are actually forgetting the habit of calculating, addition, subtraction, percentage, discount. I don't find the people these days actually working on that. Right after reading this article, I asked questions in my classes where I teach, that what is the percentage, if a shirt is of 900 rupees and they are giving 20 plus 20% discount, what should be the actual discount of the shirt? So the people came up with the idea that 20 plus 20 means 40, 40, no. So there should be 360 rupees would be given as a discount, but that's the incorrect answer.
Yeah.
And moreover, they did not came up with the idea, with the answer right away in the very first. First, they were confused about how to calculate. Just because they have forgotten. How to calculate that 100 grams if something is being sold 968 rupees per kg. What should be the 100 gram price? It's very easy. Just you have to put dot in between. 936 rupees per kg, 93.6 rupees, 100 grams. But 100, don't work like that. It's such a difficult question. I asked one question from all the students that if somebody was given a salary, the increment of salary, 10% was given. He was earning 50,000 rupees. A 10% discount, increment was given. But because he could not survive there and he was not the very good performer, so he was demoted. And when he was demoted, then 10% salary was also, there was a decrement of that. So was he in loss or was he in profit? So people said, क्या loss हुआ? 10% बढ़े, 10% घट गए. But on a simple note, most of the students said the same thing. But actually he was in loss. Because how he was in loss? The 50,000, 10% that would make 50,500. 55,000. And then 10% would be calculated on 50,000, not on the 50,000 again. So when it is calculated on 55,000, it's a 500 rupees loss over there. But people say, oh, that's okay. Though it is a tricky one, but I'm talking about the simple calculation. So we should do it. Writing, spelling. Most of the students, even in the graduation, I found the students are writing the spelling of principal as principal. So that's not PAL, it's PLE. But that's wrong. Right, anyway, thank you very much. Have a nice day. We'll be doing more such classes of verbal ability and reading comprehension. You, by then, keep reading because CAT is a reader's test. All right, we'll meet again. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.